with those things?
Pretty good. We just in New Zealand. It's Father's Day tomorrow, so I went out and got a few things ready for my dad tomorrow.
Oh, nice one. And what does your dad think of all these viral videos you've been putting out, Joe?
The first reason why we did it was because we wanted to spread positive vibes, and a lot of people were finding it hard to deal with the lockdown. So we wanted to show them that even though you're stuck at home, that you can have fun. And because of the feedback that we got, and everyone was excited and happy about it, we thought we should carry on. And it became something where I enjoyed doing it, and it was, I was hanging out with the family, I was training, but also something I was looking forward to because doing these videos were fun.
How many takes did it take? Were you pretty good? Were you nailing it first time, or were you maybe doing 3 or 4 takes?
I think I was a pro.
I knew you'd say that.
I was. Do you know what I found? Right, I credit to those who are in the movie industry, directors, and everyone involved, because it's not easy. And when you're trying to act like someone else, when you're trying to do these voiceovers and all that, it's not as easy as people think it is. And so credit to them.
Now, Joseph, coming on to fight news, mate. We're led to believe you're scheduled to fight Junior Farr, a fellow New Zealander. Could you tell us about that? I mean, is it any truth that the fight may be in jeopardy because of an issue with gloves?
Oh, listen, the fight, we were looking at fighting in October. We had a sort of a date planned, but then because of the negotiations, it had to be pushed out to December. At the moment, there's nothing locked in, but we've agreed to what they've asked for. They've asked for $500,000, which we've agreed to. Now they're coming up with excuses of gloves and, the sanctioning bodies and drug testing, which I've already agreed to, all of that. So to me, it sounds like they're making excuses. After calling me out for 2 years, it sounds like they're making excuses to make the fight happen. If they really wanted the fight, we've given them what they wanted, which is $500,000. They should accept it and get it on. So at the moment, the ball is in their court, and we're waiting for them to sign a contract and get on. Yeah,
because I read, Joe, that they wanted to go down the sort of UFC style where both fighters have exactly the same gloves. I mean, have you heard of that? Has that ever happened before when you've been fighting?
I don't think it's ever happened in boxing, that kind of rule. And I think boxing won't change for their team. Boxing is one of those things where a fighter or a team picks their gloves and it comes and the officials check it. And once it's checked and signed off, you're able to fight with your gloves. I've never heard of this kind of rule being introduced to boxing ever before. And I don't think it should change just for a team who wants it changed.
Definitely, mate.
When that fight does happen, Joe, I mean, whether it be in October or December, do you think it'll be behind closed doors, or will there maybe be a small percentage of fans allowed in?
My opinion would be New Zealand is looking good at the moment, and I think it'll be in a stadium. I think we'll be able to have a crowd there and fans supporting, and it'll be good because it's always great to have a stadium filled with fans, cheering either for him or for myself. But I think it will be a filled stadium here in New Zealand. Hopefully we're not. If it's level 3 or level 4, then things may change.
Is it true? I mean, Eddie Hearn is involved. I saw an interview in IFL when he was talking about it. How involved is he with the planning of it? Has he got any elaborate plans, or is he not involved as such?
Well, who's this?
Eddie Hearn. Is Eddie Hearn involved in sort of the planning side of it? Because he's been the man really of lockdown, isn't he, with what he's done in his garden?
Yeah, Eddie Hearn's involved. I mean, Eddie Hearn's has fights locked in the UK, which we've seen, and he's put on some successful events, behind closed doors. He's put on. I think he's got some fights locked in the US soon. Yeah. And he's also looking over the fight that we're looking at having here in New Zealand. And he's because he's my promoter, he's heavily involved in everything that's happening.
With Junior Farr, Joseph, we've seen that he's made some comments. I think he said that he was too smart for you in the amateurs, and he's referred back to the amateurs. Does your experience now in the pro game help you to rise above such comments, mate?
Yeah, listen, his comments come from a place of he's trying to get an edge and trying to get the better of me. But I mean, that kind of stuff doesn't really work. I've been in the professional game longer than he has. I've also fought more credible opponents than he has. And it's good that he's taking this challenge. If he does sign it, if he's not scared, it's good that he's taking this challenge. And none of that stuff works on me. You know, he can say whatever he wants to say, but when the time comes and it's time for us to fight, if he signs the contract, I'll get in there and smash him.
I mean, it was quite a long time ago, Joe, wasn't it? I mean, was it 8 years ago you last fought each other?
We fought each other when I had no structure in my training, and I was eating Burger King and McDonald's every day. So now I'm eating vegetables and salads. Things may change.
I would expect they would, Nate. Do you feel, Joe? Do you feel loyal to the WBO? You know, seeing as you were their champion, does this mean you'll be looking to maybe fight the winner of Usyk Chisora, because obviously that's a WBO sort of sanctioned fight?
I would love to fight the winner of Usyk Chisora. I was scheduled to fight Chisora, as you guys know, and because of a spider bite and health issues, I had to pull out of the fight. But I tried to reschedule the fight. He wanted to go ahead and fight someone else, and then they offered me Usyk, and I think they used it as negotiating power for the fight that I have now. So I think if this junior fight happens, I would love to smash him and knock him out in December, and then I'm happy to fight anyone in the top 5 or top 10 in the world. Give me anyone.
Speaking of the WBO, Joe, looking at the WBO rankings currently, we saw Brit Daniel Dubois move up to number 2 fairly recently. Now, do you think that's maybe a bit harsh that he's moved sort of above you in the rankings, like given your resume and given you're an ex-WBO world champion, mate?
Yeah, the thing is, with the rankings, I know I was ranked higher than he was, and now they've moved them up to number 2 and I'm at number 3. But it doesn't really worry me, the rankings. You know, I think as long as I do what I have to do and take care of business, then I will climb up, back to the top eventually. But whatever the WBO or any other sanctioning body does, it doesn't really matter to me. It's their decision, and I just have to take care of business.
Awesome, mate. I mean, there's a lot of talk about AJ possibly having to vacate the WBO. You'll be in prime position then, hopefully, won't you, for the fight? Is that something you hope for, to fight for maybe the vacant title or the mandatory position?
Yeah, if he does vacate the belt, I'd love it to be, right there, ready to fight for the belt. I'm willing and I'm able and I'm ready, and I just have to be given the opportunity. And this time, instead of being cautious and patient in fights, I will go out there and, my goal and my job will be to destroy.
You mentioned
and be more exciting and throw more punches.
Great stuff, mate. Now, Joseph, you mentioned a minute ago there, I just want to quickly grab your thoughts on it. You mentioned about you'd love to fight the winner of Usyk Chisora. Just wondering personally for you, is there one more stylistically you would rather fight? Or, I mean, have you still got unfinished business with Del Boy? Do you see it as that?
I feel like I have unfinished business because our fight didn't go ahead. But one person that I would like to fight, probably on first on my list, would be Dillian Whyte. I'd like to have a rematch. I'd like to run it back. I think it'll be exciting to have a round 2 of him.
Definitely. I mean, that last round 12, I mean, was unbelievable. I bet you were wishing that there was another minute left.
I wish that I did. You know what I wish? I wish that I didn't get headbutted.
I bet. Talking of Usyk, Joe, do you think he can mix it heavyweight? People go on about his size, and maybe he's not big enough. Do you want to think that, or do you think maybe his footwork and his movement will get him out of jail a bit at heavyweight?
I think he's got some great movement and great footwork, and I think he can mix it at the top. We just haven't seen that from him. He's only had one fight in the heavyweight division, and a lot of people thought he should have done better than he did, but I think it's sort of like a welcoming fight for him. Yeah. And the real test would be when he fights someone like Del Boy, who comes forward, throws a lot of punches, puts on the pressure. That's when we'll actually see if he can handle being in the heavyweight division or not. But I think he can. I think being a cruiserweight unified champion of the world, I think he can come up and mix it with the boys. But we just have to wait and see.
I just want to ask you, Joseph. We know you have a very close friendship with the WBC world champion Tyson Fury. Is it true you both had a little bet with each other on the Dillian Whyte and Povetkin fight, mate?
Yeah, we did. We had a bet. I video called him before the fight, and he said to me that he was betting on Povetkin winning. And I said, you know, there's a video of it. I can send to you guys later on. But I bet on Whyte, and I said Whyte's going to knock him out. And then, so I owe him 50 quid.
Has he been chasing you for that money, mate?
No, I don't think he has the need to chase me for 50 quid. I think when I see him, I'll buy him a feed, I'll buy him a drink, and then I'll give him his 50 quid.
Joseph, who's the best dancer out of you both as well? I know you both like to move a bit, and you've got a bit in the locker. Who do you consider the best, mate? You or is Fury there?
To be honest, like Fury, he is the man at dancing, but I am way better than him. and singing wise, he's better than me at singing, and he's more confident within his voice. If I started singing, I wouldn't be the same as him.
So we won't be seeing you maybe sing after a victory in the ring anytime soon, then, Joe.
No singing, just dancing.
Oh, wicked, mate.
It's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you, Joseph. Thank you for giving us your time, mate, today.
Anytime. Thank you guys for having me on, and I look forward to catching up with you guys soon.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you, Joseph.
See you soon, Joe. Ciao, buddy.